This all started as a vision of Tom Phillippi. We've been 2 years in the making just to get to this point. We have another couple of years before we actually break ground. So we do appreciate everybody's support. I would like to acknowledge our dignitaries in attendance this morning. We have our Vacaville Mayor, Len Augustine, our Vice Mayor, Ron Roulette, Councilwoman Diana Harris, and our City Treasurer, Jay Yerkes. From our Solano County Board of Supervisors, we have Skip Thomson, as well as John Vasquez. And our State Assembly member, Jim Frazier, and his field representative, Ariel Silva. So thank you all, gentlemen, for attending our event this morning. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Tom Phillippi, who's going to share a little bit about how this all came about and explain what the park is going to be.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I was visiting my kids down in Round Rock, Texas, and they told me about this park called Rad Park down there, and they said, "Dad, it's absolutely amazing. It's got facilities for kids of all abilities and disabilities." And they know that in my work, I do a lot of work with the Americans with Disabilities Act in the things that I design. So we went there, and I was absolutely amazed at what they had. They had a swing, for example, for children in wheelchairs, where a little ramp would fold down and a wheelchair could go on, and a child in a wheelchair could swing next to their friend. And I was amazed by all of the various things. The play structure and everything was made not only for kids with disabilities, but it was fun for all kids. And they nicknamed the Rad Park the Play for All Park. And I thought, well, this is a really great idea. And then at one moment in that visit, my son, who played on the Black Dogs rugby team, big tough guy, he comes over to me and he's got big tears in his eyes. And I said, "Matt, what's wrong?" And he said, "I just saw the most amazing thing." And it still chokes me up to this day. I watched a little boy help a blind girl go down the slide, and they both had the biggest smiles you could imagine. And at that moment, I said, we've got to bring that concept and that idea to Vacaville. And I've since talked... I came back and I talked to the Rotary executive board, and I shared with them the thoughts that we had, and they loved it. And they said, we've got to do this. And so 2 years ago, we formed a committee. We have a 501c3 nonprofit organization, Play for All Park Inc., and we formed the committee, and we've been working for 2 years. We've been working with experts in disabilities. We've been working with the city staff, and we've come up with a vision, a park that we think is second to none. Just to go through just briefly some of the things that are included in the park. In the upper right-hand corner, we've included dog parks because that's for everyone, and we have kids with service animals. We have in the upper right-hand corner of our park, it's a 7.5 acre park, I might mention. There will be 2 dog parks, one for small dogs and one for larger dogs. I'm a huge baseball fan, and probably my most favorite things are up in the upper left-hand corner. We have created 2 small baseball fields, and this is Michelle Erickson's suggestion for 2. We can hold tournaments here. These ballparks are going to be for kids with Challenger League. They'll be rubberized infield, rubberized asphalt infield, and AstroTurf outfield for kids in wheelchairs and walkers can play. But the cool thing about those, the upper left-hand one is going to be modeled after Fenway Park, and we're going to have a replica of the Green Monster for kids. And the lower right-hand corner, and this is the hardest one for me to stomach because I'm a huge Dodger fan, we're going to have a replica of AT&T Park. I know where I live. And that right field fence, we're going to recreate a 1/3 scale replica of the right field fence. It'll also serve for the city's T-ball program. The dimensions will work for that, as well as adult wiffle ball. So imagine adults, parents, you want to get out there and hit the ball over the right field fence. Steve, you want to hit the ball over the... over the green monster. We've set it up for Steve Huddleston. That's what I thought about. He's going to be able to hit the wiffle ball over the green monster. Outside of the right field fence, we have a kid's splash area. Guess what we've called it? McCovey Cove. So, and then we have a play structure, a 8,000 square foot play structure, totally accessible. Children in wheelchairs, walkers can be in the middle of the action. How many times have we gone to parks where there's a nice big concrete barrier around the play structure? Children with wheelchairs, disabilities have to stay on the outside. This play structure will be allow children. So excited about that. The other exciting thing we saw in the park in Round Rock was what we're calling Vacaville. It's going to be from the inside, it will look like you're in a little mini downtown Vacaville. We're working with businesses, and they'll be taking and making storefronts. They'll be basically picnic structures, but the fronts will be false fronts that'll look like a business. So if you're in the middle of the town square, you're going to think you're in downtown Vacaville, and then behind that will be some picnic structures. So we're very, very excited about the facilities. We've been working with experts in the field in disabilities, autism, kids with wheelchairs and those kinds of things. We're very, very excited. After we're raising the money, our goal is $4.9 million. We're raising money privately. We're going to give the city, give this to the city, and they will maintain it in the future. We're very, very excited. I can't tell you how excited I am to see all of you here. This is overwhelming to me. And we've been 2-3 years now on this, and we've got a couple more years to go, but we're going to make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. And now Carol Landry, who is the past president of Vacaville Rotary Club, and I apologize. My name is Kathryn Tuberty, and I'm the president-elect of the Vacaville Rotary Club. So, Carol?
Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to see you. As you heard from Tom, this is a huge project undertaking for our community. But for the last year, we've been talking to a lot of the companies and individuals in the area to be early sponsors of this. And I'm happy to acknowledge we've had a lot of support. I want to definitely have everybody hear about the support we're getting from our community. And first up is the land donation, which is from D.R. Stephen and Company and Glenn Maxwell.
Where's Glenn?
He's here somewhere. Yep, there we are. And thank you very much. We really appreciate this donation. Thanks. You know, obviously without the land, none of this would have been possible. So it is a great donation. If you didn't realize, it is exactly the property you're looking at right now, going down to about the big tree, going back. That's where the park will be. And it's a beautiful setting. You've got all the trees. I guess Lattice Creek used to run back there, so it's a beautiful setting. We really appreciate his help. Also with that is Hartford Land Management. Cameron Stewart is right next to him. Actually, I know the land donation is from both of them, and we do appreciate that. In our local companies, we had North Bay Healthcare. Steve Huddleston is also, they have made a major donation to make this possible. And you know, we all know all the great things that North Bay does for this community. Travis Credit Union, Barry Nelson. Again, a big supporter of the Vacaville. They are headquartered here, and we're fortunate to have them. Sunrise Event Center. Got our whole family here. Christian Sid Hughes, his sons Kathy and Kevin, and Homer Chip Hill. And appreciate that. In fact, they handed me a check this morning, so I do appreciate, you know, not only saying I'll give it to you, but actually giving it to you. So thank you. Very nice. So, and we do appreciate that. And if you haven't been to the facility, it is a beautiful facility. And of course, as Kathryn mentioned, the Vacaville Rotary Club has been really the impetus behind this. Tom has been a member for a long time. He came to our board a few years ago, said, I have this idea. Would you guys support it? And we were all on board. Many of the committee members are from the Vacaville Rotary. We get a lot of support and also financial donations. And so thank you, Vacaville Rotary. Kathryn Tuberty is our president-elect. And definitely the driving force behind this is Tom and Sylvia Phillippi of Phillippi Engineering. It is unbelievable the amount of work they've put into this, the amount of money they've put into this, and we still have 2 years to go, and I know it will be a fantastic park, because it is due to Tom's vision. This couldn't have happened without him. Thank you, Tom. And our last sponsor is Tiger Construction. He doesn't have a representative here, but we do appreciate their support. You know, a lot of the support is actually not only going to be financial donations, but also labor. And we're getting a lot of support from the construction trades on that, and we do really appreciate them. So thank you to all the sponsors.
And now I'll bring up Anna Eaton, who wants to give us a presentation from the Boys and Girls Club.
Good morning. I am the director at the Boys and Girls Club here in Vacaville, and I'm usually on the opposite end of a check presentation. So this morning it's actually kind of nice to be, you know, the one presenting a check to the Play for All Park. Tom, Phillippi, my hat's off to you for your diligent work. So I'm so proud to be here with you this morning. And the reason why we're here this morning to present a check is because of the great things that our staff do in terms of programs and the programs that they run with the kids who come to our club and the things that they teach our kids. So I thought who better to share with you how we got money together to donate. I'd like to introduce Crystal. She is our middle school coordinator, and with her she brought some of the middle school kids that are in our program.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming. So my job was this summer as a middle school coordinator is to take these middle schoolers over the course of the summer and teach them something. And so I'm so proud to be part of a club that teaches them things that they don't learn in school always, like finance and nutrition and some of those things that sometimes get overlooked. So we ran a snack shack this summer with our middle schoolers. They got to choose what they sold. They got to figure out unit prices, what they want to sell it for, make inventory sheets, and they sold snacks all summer, so 2, sometimes 3 times a day, and raised almost $500. So today we're going to be donating $500 to the park. And of all the things I think that we teach the kids, whether it be finance or nutrition and all these facts, I cannot ever replicate or express how proud I am to be able to teach them how to give. And so I'm super proud of these guys to take all the money that they raise and to be able to give it to the park. So thank you so much. For $500.
She's the money person.
Thank you so much, Anna and Crystal. And our next presentation is going to be from the Soroptimist Club, and we have Denise.
Hi, I'm Denise Suihkonen from Soroptimist International of Vacaville, and I'm just here to announce that we have decided to select the Play for All Park as our fund and eat for our lobster dinner, which is going to be held on October 15th. Fund and eat is a special part of our live auction, and all the money will go to the Play for All Park. So if you'd like to eat a lobster and support the park, October 15th, see me for tickets.
Thank you so much, Denise. Okay, now for our speakers. Our first speaker is going to be Mayor Augustine.
Well, good morning. You know, I usually have prepared something to speak, but this is so unbelievable that I really didn't do that. I just wanted to see what the crowd is like, and this is really very generous of you to be out here today and to welcome Play for All Park. This is an amazing thing for you. So many things happen here when I was here, it shouldn't surprise me that somebody like Tom Phillippi would come forward and want to raise $4 million to build a park like this. This is just something that you won't see in most communities, that somebody wants to give back, like Tom does. And so, Tom, you deserve a great big round of applause for that. And you know, just speaking to some of the people who are donating here today, and particularly the Sunrise Group that built a wonderful event center, and they're going to build a hotel out in front of it as well, which is going to be great for Vacaville. It's all private money that's been done there. And that's really a great idea. great thing for the city of Vacaville. And then, of course, we're talking about North Bay, who just invested $58 million in a wellness center and a cancer center in the city of Vacaville. Just opened that up last month. It's quite a deal for Vacaville. And then Travis Credit Union, who seem to be everywhere. And I know how important things are to him. I have to be on our board of directors. I want to thank Barry Nelson for the strong support that he provides throughout the community. And the Rotary Club, you know, they've been known to write checks, and so we're hoping to write big ones this time. And in support of this club. They've asked what the city's going to do, and the city will be there to make sure that you have a smooth sailing and all the permitting required and all the other things that are required to make this thing a reality. And of course, then we're going to take on the maintenance responsibilities for this park. So it's great to have people, Jim Frazier here, and the two supervisors from our city, both John Vasquez and Skip Thomson. They're really strongly in support of what's happening here. I want to thank our city council for the strong support, particularly Delana and Ron, who are here today. And Jen Aldrich is here from the Planning Commission. She's been a little nervous because she's got to conduct a meeting for the first time for the Planning Commission coming up. But give her a big round of applause too, because she's very strong. I don't want to speak too much longer. I just want to say that in looking at this park, it's been inclusive of everybody. I think you'll capture the people who want a dog park. Obviously, the softball and the wiffle ball and all the other activities that are going to take place here are going to be fun for kids. And what's nice about it is that the 5% of children who are disabled will be able to enjoy it as well. So God bless you all for doing this, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Mayor. And now Supervisor Skip Thomson.
Good morning, everyone, and first I'd like to applaud the Rotary and Sylvia and Tom Phillippi for their great effort in putting this effort together. You know, this morning, Gail and I are fortunate that we have Logan, our 4-year-old grandson, and I told him about coming to the park, and he goes, "The park, that's where you go to make friends." I mean, that's very simply put, but I think that's really the essence of what we're trying to do here, is make friends with all of those children that may not be able to take advantage of parks. So I have a very brief speech, fortunately, I know, and I'd just like to say that G.K. Chester's said it very succinctly. He said, "The true object of all human life is play. Earth is a task garden, heaven is playground." This park will be heaven for all children. At this park there will be no difference between the children. They are just that. Children will have the opportunity to play together, have fun together, and get to know each other. This wonderful park will provide the same opportunities for every child in the neighborhood. Children of all abilities will be able to get outside, and the most important thing, expend energy. In looking at, I didn't know much about the effort, and I said, what are other communities doing? The other communities that I looked into, they built similar parks. Some of them have merry-go-rounds that accommodate wheelchairs. Some have places where children can play a piano or other musical instrument, and all have visually handicapped in mind. Some are beach themed, some are those that have raised sandboxes, mazes, special swings, quiet areas for resting. I think that's for the parents, of course. And one aspect is a track for wheelchair races. As Thomas Hubbing once said, parks are works of art just as painting or sculpture. And I'm very happy to be here supporting this effort, and I will do what I can. But since I have the mic, I have one last thing I'd like to say. My office has been involved with parents of special needs children. And on the 21st of this month, from 6:30 to 8, we'll be having a meeting of these parents. And, you know, it's a group that has really been marginalized, in my opinion, and I think it's time that they're given the recognition for what they do with parents and also get them involved in the community. So if you're interested in the meeting, please contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Skip. And Supervisor John Vasquez.
Well, good morning. I think Lenny and Skip said most of it, but all of you know that's why you're here. Deep in your heart, this is the right thing to do. So I do have a few thoughts. You know, in life we often take those things that are important to us for granted, such as family and friends, and even life and even play. Tom, I want to thank you for stopping and taking the time to be inspired. In doing so, you're inspiring us, the rest of us. I just wonder why it took so long to come to this point, why parks aren't thought of as play for all. You know, in July of 1990, the American Disability Act was passed. But before that, 100 years or so before that, in Boston in 1885, there was the first recognized park for children with disability. So it's been the idea and the concept has been around a long time. It's now our responsibility to make sure that we design parks so that everyone can play in it. And in doing so, with this park, we'll be joining the 2,500 parks across the United States that are already set up this way. Tom, I want to thank you and the Rotary. You know, it's often just one individual that kind of gets it and then inspires the rest of us, and that's what you've done. Thank you so much.
And Assembly Member Jim Frazier.
Thank you so much for being here this morning, and you know, it's wonderful to be here. About 5 years ago, Ron Roulette introduced me to Tom. And there's a reason these things happen, and this wasn't even a vision. And then Tom and I came back. As the mayor of the city of Oakley, I built one of these playgrounds for my community. It was the first one in East Contra Costa County for 8,000 children in East Contra Costa County that did not have an ability to play with their brothers and sisters. And so when Tom had first mentioned this to me, I said, oh my gosh. And then I saw the plan, which expanded so much on the need for the special needs population. I'm all in. I'm absolutely all in, whatever I can do. And I'll let you know, I was one of the first at the Rotary meeting to be able to donate for the cause. And it was like, you know what, we've got to get Tom and the Rotary and the folks in Vacaville to the right people so that we can get this thing funded. So I just want to also thank, you know, all of the volunteers up to this point, the community members and the city of Vacaville for continuing to foster this inspirational playground and park. A lot of you know that I'm a champion in the legislature for the special needs population. I've been a volunteer at the Special Olympics for 12 years now, helping the athletes. And what this playground will do also will create the dignity and the self-esteem and the physical agility that these athletes and young children deserve. Not need, deserve. So we'll be looking at legislation that requires every development out includes special needs population going forward, because that hasn't been accomplished. The census continues to grow on our special needs population. And ladies and gentlemen, all they want to feel is normal. They just want to be like us. But they don't know that they're like us. We need to be able to recognize that these folks just like us. But the thing about it in working with the special needs population at the Special Olympics is the love and the happiness that each one of those athletes has for each individual. There's no hatred. There's no mistrust. It's absolute pure love that they have for each and every one of us. So, Tom, the Rotary, thank you so much for your inspiration. You keep me inspired to keep going. This is something that is just a phenomenal opportunity in your community. And you're being a role model for other communities to follow. We're hoping that we can get this funded. I'm going to look for opportunities in the state through state parks, grants. We're going to make sure that we look under every rock and nook and cranny for you folks to try to be able to help everywhere we can. But with that, I would like to be able to present to Tom and the Rotary behalf of myself, I just want to say that I wish I could do more at this point in time, but this amount is my commitment to what these good folks are doing for the community of Vacaville, special needs population, and let's just keep this ball rolling and keep going, and I can't wait to cut the ribbon on this thing. So thank you so much for everything you guys do.
Yeah. Gotta love that mic.
I don't know what Travis Creddy is going to say when I walk in with this.
Well, no, they'll say this. They'll say
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, Jim. We really do appreciate that. I really appreciate everybody coming out this morning and taking an hour or so out of your Saturday morning to come and support us. I do want to let you know that we have tables over here where you can support us financially, buying bricks and other things over there. Anyway, I think based on what else do we have? T-shirts and boards. Yeah, sorry. I'm overwhelmed by the money we got from Jim. That's terrific. And I really appreciate all of our dignitaries that came out, all the Rotarians that are here this morning, including Mrs. Solano County, our very own Marlene Mulvey, Rotarian. Appreciate her coming and supporting us this morning. Thank you all very much. You have a fabulous day. Thank you.
Oh, can we get one picture of you guys?
Can we hold our chair really quick?